A question I often get asked is, what is Advent and why is it such a big deal to the church? Well, in the most straightforward sense, the word Advent derives from the Latin word adventus, which means arrival or coming into place. And though it's changed quite a bit over the years, we can still rightly understand Advent as to be a worshipful holiday seating that leads us in the commemoration of Christ's coming, that is, his birth in the manger, while also building anticipation for his second coming as restorer and king. Now, as I said before, it has changed quite a bit because, frankly, Advent has been around for a very long time. As a result, just like with anything, it's underwent a few renovations along the way. We don't necessarily know exactly when the practice first began, but we do have some pretty strong evidence that somewhere around the 5th century or so, particularly in parts of Spain and Western Europe, a season of 4 weekly fasts and church-held times of reflection and devotion had already emerged in the area. And from there, as you probably know, it more or less took on a festive shape all its own. Soon, churches and homes alike were filled with evergreen wreaths, purple, blue, pink candles, chocolate-filled calendars, and even some of these. Within a relatively short amount of time, Advent had become a significant part of the Christian life, a Western European staple and yet another way to shape the lives of believers, young and old alike. So the question should be obvious. Well then, why does Bethany celebrate it? And why am I wearing this odd-looking blue scarf for this video? Well, if you know me at all, then you probably know that I believe the coming of Jesus in Bethlehem, the events surrounding his life, death, and resurrection on earth, not to mention his imminent return in glory, are without question the most significant events the world will ever know. I believe that to my core. And so as far as I am concerned, any faithful efforts we can make as a church to root ourselves more deeply in those events and to be shaped more distinctly by those stories, those are things worth doing. That's just it for me. We're not a church bound to particular traditions, but we are a church that is free to enjoy and appreciate traditions for all they're worth. And so that's what we do. And part of that utilization is accomplished by letting the strange, mysterious, and serious things within this tradition disrupt our otherwise busy and fixed lives, which for me as your pastor is where this stole comes in. No, I'm not making some strange leap back to Roman Catholicism, especially since these didn't even originate with them, but instead, for the worship services leading up to Christmas, that is our 4 Advent services, and even those to follow, so Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I'm going to be wearing a visual cue that we are a people marked and made by this wonderfully redemptive story. That our odd hopes and traditions, as it were, should be celebrated and not hidden from the public. And so with that being said, I want to encourage you, bring a friend and join us. Beginning November 27th, that's 2 short weeks away, as we get to celebrate the season of expectancy and preparation for the celebration of Jesus' birth and his soon and certain coming again. Grace and peace, church. We look forward to seeing you soon.